I go to in our Shabbos this week's Parshas, Parshas Vayeitzei. Parshas Vayeitzei, we have Leah giving birth to the Shvatim. And Leah, the pasuk says, Vayara Hashem ki sinua Leah. Hashem saw that Leah was hated. And then he decided to bless Leah with children who would become the Shvatim. So this lashon, the language of the pasuk of ki sinua Leah, that Leah was hated, is it's difficult. It's difficult to read, and it always bothered me how the pasuk could say that Leah was hated. That did Yaakov really hate Leah? I mean, that's difficult to grasp. Hate is such a strong word. I mean, we try to teach our kids not to use the word hate. It's such a strong word. So what's going on here? Is it possible that Yaakov really hated Leah? So a lot of the Mefarshim talk about this, and most of them have a similar theme where they say it's not that Yaakov hated Leah, it's just that in comparison to Rachel, the great love of his life, Leah was hated. That's that's a perfectly valid, good pshat, but it never resonated with me. But I saw this year from Rebbe from Goldberg, he says a pshat that I think is a beautiful, beautiful lesson. And he says the following. He said, of course, Yaakov did not hate Leah. But the bottom line is, Leah felt hated. Leah felt as if she was hated because of the situation, because of everything that went on with Rachel and whatever it was. Leah felt like she was hated. And the pasuk is teaching us an important lesson, and that is the way that we make a person feel is way more important than the way we intend to make a person feel. So the fact that Leah felt like she was hated for whatever reason, it means that she was hated. So Vayar Hashem ki sinua Leah. Hashem saw that Leah was hated because the reality is that's how she felt. We have to be so careful. We have to be so careful with how we make people feel. There's an interesting addition that I want to add also from the Nitziv in the story with Yaakov and the shepherds by the well. Yaakov gets there and he asks the shepherds, he says, what are you all doing gathered around the well? You should be working, basically, instead of lounging around. And they say, well, we're waiting to get this rock off of the well. And Yaakov eventually takes the rock and he pushes it off. But it's interesting that the shepherds don't react negatively toward Yaakov. Like, here's a complete stranger coming in. You're telling us how to do our job. If I was at work and I was taking a few minute break, and someone will come in and be like, hey, how come you're not working? I would be like, get out of here. I would be very upset. But they weren't upset at Yaakov. Why is that? And then it says because Yaakov used a nice lashon, achai me'ayim basem. My brothers, where are you from? He talked to them nicely. He talked to them as equals. He made them feel good. He treated them with respect and dignity. So then he asked a question. They were open to that. It's so important to make people feel loved. It's important to take people's feelings into account in whatever we do. Vayar Hashem ki sinua Leah. Hashem saw the reality of the situation, that Leah felt as if she were hated. Of course, Yaakov didn't hate her, but the bottom line is that's how she felt, and that's what really counts. So let's all try to make people feel good, treat people with dignity, respect, and love. Have a wonderful Shabbos.